Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Friday, June 14th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will begin our tour. Well, it's Friday. It's been an intense week, I think, and I'm doing something a little different today, a little lower key than, striving to present all the relevant news. I think I have a tendency to kind of micro look at news, be waiting for, minute by minute for something to change every morning, wanting to see that hopes and prayers have been answered and that things are different, wanting to look outside and not see any chemtrails. And, sometimes just it doesn't have to work like that. Is the fact that we can't see measurable change does not mean that it's not taking place. It's like a seed that is in the ground, and it germinates, and you don't see that in its days before sometimes before you see the stalk. So I just want to consider, things the way they are now. Just take a look around, and how can we ourselves personally reconcile what we see and what we hear and move ahead. So this is news, but a lot of what I'm going to share is in the context of this. Steven Spielberg, film industry implosion lies ahead. What's this about? Well, one of my favorite things that David Icke said when he talked with Alex Jones at Bilderberg was he talked about what we believe is within the realm of possibility, and that how the media has really limited us as far as what we accept as the realm of possibility. That we ourselves are really capable of much more than we typically believe. And I'll tell you what, if you don't believe that, take a good Pilates reformer class with a really good teacher, and she or perhaps he will get you to move your body in ways that you bend in ways that you didn't know you could bend. And we can do things that we don't believe. We're limited. We're limited, and oftentimes what we're limited by is what we believe. But more specifically pertaining to this, there are a lot of reasons given, mostly because there's so many more outlets for content, and people won't be going to the theaters and paying the big bucks to see a film in a theater, but instead people will be watching things at home, evidence, Netflix, and I mean that's my favorite alternative content place, favorite way to view movies and even TV programs. No commercials. Awesome. Gotta love that. But I think there's more to this story than just where the content is coming out and how much they can expect to charge for it. Another part of this story is the fact that the technology to make movies is in virtually everybody's hands. And there was a feature film shot with an iPhone just to prove that it could be done. And it just doesn't require a whole lot. There's this whole big thing about actors, like, wow, they're actors. But it's really just reading, lines with emotion and putting yourself into another place and trying to anticipate what that place. I feel like it's not rocket science. That's what I'm trying to say. So we all can make movies, and you know, this is the freak out of the cabal, of the control system. I don't even want to put it on the people in the cabal. It's the control system. And I've mentioned the book Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein and World Systems, and how it's really a system takes on a life of its own. I believe many of them become inhabited by an entity, you know, demonic entity, and that's why they take on a life of their own. But so the world system wants to have control, wants to stifle creativity, wants to have everything come out from, you know, one stream so that it's easy to control. And we're in a moment of history where we are on the verge of breaking out of that. And being able to make films is only a very small example of that. There are tremendous technologies that I've talked about. So we're really on the horizon, and I'm not a big person to talk about changing into 4D or 5D, although I don't rule that out entirely. But this is real. These things are real, and we do have this potential right before us. I mean, it's so close we can reach out and touch it. And, you know, we can reach in and touch it because the potential really is within us. It is the creative nature of God that He instilled in us when He breathed life into Adam. So I want to look at some films and some music today that express some ideas, and I'm hoping to impart encouragement ultimately. Fake. This is not a very well-known film. It's about human potential. It's about a young artist who's very gifted but has difficulty finding an outlet for his work, and he falls into the trap of having his work completely, in his life, completely controlled. That's what we don't want to do. This is what, you know, more what you do want to do. And Braveheart, not one of my favorite films. I have vowed never to watch the end again. I appreciate martyrdom, I really do, and I deeply appreciate the truth of this story. But I just don't like watching the guy die at the end, and so dramatically. So this is a great film on so many levels. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I don't need to say more. This is a film that did not make as big of a splash, but really has a tremendous message. Robin Hood stars Russell Crowe and Cate Blanchette. This is a film from a couple years ago. Dark and Pollution. I mean, this movie got horrible reviews, but it is a fabulous, fabulous movie. At times it feels like a political attack paid for by the Tea Party movement circa 1199. Yeah, you know, England bankrupted by war in the Middle East, and they're demanding the Magna Carta. And it's just a tremendous time in history. Of course it's fictional. Aspects of it are real, but, you know, Robin Hood is a legend or a myth, whatever. This is just a story that really embodies what was going on at that time. And one line from the film that is particularly inspiring: "Rise and rise again until lambs become lions." And that line comes out in a very emotional setting, and it's excellent, really. This film, The Sound of Music, I chose this because this is their homeland. This is Austria. And they're singing about their homeland, and they had been invaded by the Nazis. And this family did not want to serve the Nazis, so they left. They went out across the mountains. Now, if they were chipped, or their kids were chipped, or their dog was chipped, or they had cell phones, they wouldn't have been able to escape across the mountains, right? But just overall, this film is just a beautiful story, and it's a love story too. A lot of humanity in it, and a lot of nobility. And this is based on a true story. Gladiator, not based on a true story, as far as any history book will prove. Just an excellent story of nobility and finding yourself in difficult circumstances and being bitter and still having the ability to determine to bring restoration. Great, great film. Now, I'll just mention a few songs, and all this in the context of let's bring out the creativity. Let's bring out the flow of life. This is the thing that really enrages the world system when it's the flower that grows in the junkyard. Within dark times, difficult times, times of economic struggle, we still can break out our guitar and sing a song, or we still can paint a picture. We still can express creativity. We can, cook a great meal, whatever. My hometown, Bruce Springsteen. This song is about a loss of American industry, and I wish that when it came out in, I think, the 80s, I would have paid more attention. And but hindsight's 20/20, so it is what it is. But there were people at that time who realized how badly we were getting screwed, if you'll pardon the expression. This I put in just as a, mostly because of these people. Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, I think Waylon Jennings is in here somewhere. And this is definitely a song about America. It's about the railroads, and there's the whole idea of the Rockefellers founding the railroads so that encouraging people to settle the West so that they would have an excuse to build the railroads so that they could control the land. We need to remember all those enslavement systems. And a lot of times, things are presented to us as, hey, this is going to help you, this is going to benefit you. But it turns out to be, the fence that gets built around the pig when a little bit of corn is thrown on the ground. So hopefully we can train ourselves and future generations to see the signs of the trap and avoid the traps. Pink houses, live at Farm Aid, yeah. This song to me expresses America. I mean, the chorus is, "Ain't that America for you and me?" We can be who we are. This is a place, America, where we're supposed to be able to be who we are. And, if you want to live in a pink house, baby, you can live in a pink house. And this is the song that I'm ending with, "Life Uncommon" by Jewel. And typically I'm not crazy about videos that people put images to somebody else's music, but this one is pretty good. And what I want to highlight from this song, "Life Uncommon," is the line that says, "No longer lend your strength to that which you wish to be free from." And that's ultimately really what I want to say today, that we get to determine where our creativity is released. We get to determine who benefits from the breath of God being inside of us. So I hope that we can be a little bit more conscious of that and make our decisions with somewhat more awareness. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, And today is Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.